Hi everyone, Jaymes Mansfield here bringing you yet another video. Okay boys and girls, I have something way different today. I have ordered the Vladonna doll by Kid Robot, brought to you by Pearl. That's right, the Pearl. This is her Vladonna fashion doll. She is a blank canvas doll for you to be as creative as you want with. You can put whatever you want on this thing. So I'm excited because I've always wanted a doll that had proportions like this growing up. Story time. I actually in high school used to draw a lot, and one of the characters I did was named Misty, and I dug out some stuff from my old high school notebooks, like ideas and like costumes I used to sketch on her, like lots of Jaymes Mansfield outfits. And she's just a little cartoon I used to draw, and she was the most fabulous person in the world, something I couldn't be in high school. So I kind of projected all that onto my drawings. So I'm going to transform this Vladonna doll into my very own fashion doll that I couldn't have in high school because, well, she didn't exist. So let's get started. I'm going to unbox her and show you what she looks like. Now bear in mind, this doll's proportions are cray-cray. Yes, she is very busty, very hippie, nipped in waist. She is a fantasy doll. She's got, I think the only person that has a silhouette similar to hers is probably Nicki Minaj. All right, taking her out. The box is like this, the rainbow Vladonna font with the hearts, and the back is risque. Wow. And you see her silhouette on the side. Okay, let's take her out. All right, you get a doll stand with it. And let's see what the doll looks like. Ooh, she is articulated, girl. She could probably vogue the house down. Look how much movement she's got. Take that off. Ooh, girl. Modesty. You're gonna get my channel demonetized. Okay, well, she's got very alert nipples. It's true. So I'm just gonna cover them up with my finger for now to give you a gauge of what her silhouette kind of looks like. Like, she's very hipsy. Look at the booty on her. Oh my God. I wish my ass looked like that on a drag. Oh my God. I need butt pads. It makes me want butt pads. And that is her bust. And her hips kind of like jut out. They're like under her armpits practically. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm having so much fun blurring this in post. But yeah, this is the doll. And she is pretty. I, of course, got the blonde one. And I noticed that her chest is like hollow, like it's squishy. And it looks like it actually can be removed. So it's kind of like the breastplate I'm wearing where it's like a turtleneck. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get started and start remaking Vladonna.
All right, hi everyone. We are getting started on painting this Vladonna doll. I'm using a mixture of both Apple Orchard and Folk Art acrylic paints that I got at Walmart. These paints are kind of old, so I recommend, getting them brand new. This is in the color Flesh, which is like a peachy color. Typical doll skin. I'm just painting all over that. Don't mind. Here, boobies showing. Now we are starting the details on her face. I'm doing the eyes first with white acrylic paint, and I go in with some lips because it kind of gives me like a nice, mental stability in my head when I can see the lips there and not just the blank canvas lips. Going back on to layer more white on there, as well as start the eyebrows. Now, eyebrows are always so tricky for me on dolls and puppets. Like you can see, I got one janky eyebrow. I'm going in with more flesh around it to sort of sculpt those into a nice arch. And then some green for the eyes because my Misty character had green eyes when I drew her. Now, the character of Misty was like an evil blonde socialite. And when I used to draw her in school, the storyline with her is that she'd always blow through all her money. So in every episode, she had to find a new rich husband to like marry and mysteriously make disappear. And she'd always get her plans foiled because she could never keep anything together. And she had a rival named Ursula Van Ross that looked just like her, only she had dark black hair and violet eyes. And she was the more successful gold digger that always threw it in her face. Her face paint is rather plain. I modeled after Hanna-Barbera cartoons in the 90s where it was simple but effective. Now her proportions are tricky, so I'm going to cheat it and trace around it with some paper and a pencil. It's an hourglass shape, and then put that on top of a piece of stretch fabric and then sew that down the sides with a zigzag stitch. As for her wardrobe, one of my favorite things about drawing this character was her outrageous sense of fashion. I like the idea of like the 80s and 90s idea of like crazy fashion. Like if you notice in cartoons, High fashion is always like people wearing haute couture outfits that like no one in reality would ever wear because they're just so impractical. I love the idea of like this fabulous woman who just buys these extravagant clothes just to like, have like a weird rich lady flex. In the comic I would draw, she was the muse of the elusive designer Sebastian. I used to have a blast coming up with the most gaudy, overly designed clothing I could think of, and I would put those on Misty because she was a fashion plate. She loved to make a statement every time she dressed up, which is why she was always running out of money. Then we add a strap and gather at the bust, and that's her simple tube dress. And this costume is of course no exception. It is a classic 1950s tube dress shape where I just gathered it from the bust like my dresses I wear in real life. Now every day with Misty is a say something hat day, so I'm just taking a piece of felt and I cut a circle around a piece of tape with the felt and some fabric and just made a hat and hemmed it on the bottom with a glue gun. And I'm taking some leftover marabou feathers and trimming the bottom of the skirt as well as putting a big pile of it on top of the hat. Now for her hair, I am pin curling it and holding it in place with bobby pins, just under rolling that so we get volume, and doing the same on the other side but tucked a little bit below the ear. And I noticed the Vladonna doll doesn't have a whole lot of hair, so for the rest of it in the back, I'm just going to under roll it so I can have it, teased out and brushed out later for that. Since the center of her head doesn't have a whole lot of hair, I'm just going to tease the crap out of that later. And I'm just going to go over that with a steamer, be sure and shield the painted face with a paper towel. And just steam all over that until it's nice and hot to the touch. And blow dry it dry. Thankfully it's a doll, so it doesn't take that long to dry out. And once that's all dry, she has pin curls. Let's start teasing it. Just using a rat tail comb, I'm going to tease the crap out of her hair, making a nice big bubble, like I would my actual wigs. Just a mixture of my teasing comb and my bristle brush. We're going to go through and try and get some creativity and some shape out of this hair. She kind of looks like Divine with her hair all teased out like that. And be sure and shield the face too if you're going in with hairspray like I am. And it's a mixture of the bristle brush, teasing, and hairspray and the blow dryer to make sure the hair is nice and solid. We're just going to shape this hair into a nice 1950s kind of flip. And she doesn't have a whole lot of hair, so I have to keep fussing with it and re-teasing it to try and create more like volume and density in the hair. Disguising it with teasing is a really good way around that. Now she doesn't have enough hair to pull off the hairstyle I wanted, so I took a bobby pin and I bent it into a curve and I'm just pinning that hair to the back of her head, and thankfully the hat will disguise all this once I pin it to the head. We're getting a preview of how the final doll is going to look, so I'm just going to shape the hair with my hairspray and comb until I get it into a shape I like. Just creating a nice 50s flip and blow drying and hairspraying it. Alright, we're in the home stretch. I'm going to take some gem tack and glue on some little individual eyelashes at the end of her eyes to give it more of a nice, flare and drag to the look. And just try and curl that bang around it. And finally, my last thing I do for all my projects, whenever I make puppets or anything, I take some gem tacks and I take a rhinestone and I put those on the eye to add more of a glimmer to the eye. It's sort of like a thing I like to do. Waylon Flowers used to do this a lot with his puppets, so it's something I like to incorporate into my work too. It's a fun little touch. And just prip it and we're ready to go. She's done.
Welcome back. This is the final result. Look at her. She's so pretty. She looks just like my drawings from high school. Oh my God. I'm so happy, you guys. You have no idea. I've wanted a doll like this forever. Now, as far as little things go that I did off of camera, I only did, well, 2 things. I painted her nails red with some paint. It's easy, just a little dot of paint there on the tips of her fingers. And I glued on some heart rhinestones for her earrings. Easy. Same way I did her eyes. A little bit of gem tack and there you go. Alrighty, and she is based a little bit on Mae West. You can tell from like the feathery hat, like the gay 90s. And it's the really gay 90s, like the gay 1990s. I have to say, I really like the dolls from Pearl. Like the Vladonna is 10 out of 10. I would recommend. My only critique is that she has a little less hair than I expected. Like it was a bit of a challenge to try and get a style out of it, but I think it's because she's made to be customized. Most people probably just rip the hair out and make their own. So, it's really kind of a nitpick on my own end. And as far as things I would do differently, I probably would use a different paint to paint her because acrylic paint, I needed like a solvent or something because it starts to chip if you do it rush it. So definitely consider that. Get a solvent before you start using acrylic paint. Also, when I was painting the panty area, I'd recommend just leaving that blank because the way the breastplate rubs against the chest area, it kind of creates like a circle ridge that takes off the paint. So If you're not gonna see it, don't bother painting it, honestly. Who's gonna know? And I have to say, I really love this. I'm probably gonna grab another one from the website before they're all sold out. I went there to get one with black hair and it was sold out. What's up with that, kid robot? I want one with dark hair too. Send me one, send me one. And the lavender one too, that was pretty. Alrighty, this is my very own Misty Malone. The most fabulous woman in the world, at least she was when I was in high school, and I'm so happy to have a little statuette that represents her now. Thank you all so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I've noticed that a lot of you have been watching, but you haven't been subscribing. Why don't you commit to me? Please, commit to me. You're already watching anyway, just hit that little button, kitten. And I also have wigs available at my website, so if you like to own a styled wig like moi's or like Ha's, click the link down below and see how. And until next time, bye.
Click here and see me transform a wig from What a Drag from the UK. Or see the best midsummer review you're ever gonna see. I mean it, it's the best. Click it, you won't be disappointed. Come on, click it. You know you want to. If you don't click it, I'll expose your life in a 3-part documentary series on YouTube. So click it.